and welcome to our Springbok Media Conference. We've got Lukhano Am and Does your ringtone say sorry?
Yeah, that was me.
Okay. And Cheslin Kolbe. Guys, please, we do have quite a big contingent here today, so please raise your hands for questions. One at a time, so we can give as many people as possible a chance to ask questions, and then if there is time for a second one, we'll go back to you. And then Isikoza at the end will give you about 6 minutes or 5 minutes for that. If we don't finish it in that time, then we can just pop in another English question or two. Cool. Hands up for questions. Still?
Cheslin, maybe start with you. Just maybe take us through that moment. Did you deliberately target Scott Barrett on Saturday, and how did it feel to bump off a lot?
No, definitely didn't target him. But yeah, just spur of the moment. Just tried to do something. Actually, avoid getting tackled, but yeah, just went in as hard as I could, and yeah, it turned out well. Didn't get smashed, which was good.
You've done a similar thing this cricket out. Was it a same case in pitch dealing with Scott Barrett?
Sorry, can you
You did the same thing against cricket out in Marseille in 2020.
The context is not the same. Yeah, it's a loose ball, and obviously a lot of people think that I'm going to try and step all the time, but you need to also try and vary your game every now and then. And yeah, I was just going in as hard as you can, as I said, and yeah, turned out well.
Yo.
Just on the All Blacks, we've seen how they came back against the Pumas in that second test. Just what was the conversations like in the last couple of days since we got to Cape Town, and especially knowing that the type of support they will also get once you're in the stadium on Saturday?
Yeah, I think for us as well, we've been struggling in the past with having 2 consecutive games against teams. Obviously Ireland early on the year, and then Australia, which we've done quite well. So obviously we try and improve and get that consistency whenever we do play teams twice. And it's just depends on the team and the players, how well we focused throughout the week. And yeah, we know South Africa, New Zealand, it's always a war out there, and this coming week is not going to be anything different. They're going to come out firing, and for us, we just need to make sure we prepare as well as we can and put ourselves in positions where we think they might try out different things. So yeah, I think it's just staying on task and just not to think too much about it. Because if we train well, we put in the hard work, then hopefully everything will play off this coming Saturday, hopefully. And then, yeah, as you said, we've had the trophy tour here after the World Cup. We have a great support base up in Cape Town and all over South Africa. So hopefully we've won over a lot of more supporters than them. And yeah, it keeps the game interesting at the end of the day as well.
Cheslin, just on your feelings on playing the All Blacks at your home ground, just tell me as a fan, previously, how you experienced game between the Springboks and All Blacks in Cape Town. You were not one of the first.
Yeah, first and foremost, hopefully first get selected to play this weekend, which will obviously be a big honor and a privilege as always. And yeah, as I said, like Springboks South Africa, wherever it is, but to get that in South Africa where I'm from will definitely be amazing. But it's not about me. It's about the team and us doing well at this coming Saturday. So, yeah, first need to be selected to go out there. But yeah, always a massive rivalry between the two teams.
Lukhano, since you got recalled, to the Boks squad during the World Cup last year, and then going into the season, you've played a bit of a different role than what you were used to. A bit more part of the backup brigade. You get your you play when you get your chance. How's that role been sort of trying to get the guys ready, instead of playing every week in and week out as you used to before your injury? And is it a little bit frustrating not to get as much game time, or are you happy to just fulfill whatever roles needed?
I think in the squad, everyone, plays a role, whether in the starting 15 or playing off the bench or in the squad. So I think the responsibility that you have, is serving the team, whether you're starting or not. And, I'm really happy just to be part of the squad. It's not nice being out there as your heart is here. So I'm really happy to be here, and I'm just serving the team.
A question for both guys. The story about the return of good old-fashioned rugby tours with the All Blacks coming over here in a couple of years' time. Now, in terms of your own careers, sportsmen like new challenges, how significant is that announcement to you and to your careers?
From 2026, they're looking at having it, but it hasn't officially been announced, like the old tours.
Oh, like the old Super Rugby.
No, New Zealand, South Africa. So it would be like that.
Yeah, no, will obviously be massive to have it consistently. Obviously, with the Super Rugby and that being there, the tours for them to come in, and obviously from an international point of view, for them to come over here more often. Obviously, know quite of the boys in the New Zealand team. They always love coming down to South Africa and playing the Springboks down here, and also explore what the country has. But vice versa for us as well. It's always exciting for us to go to New Zealand and play them down there. Never easy, and same for them when they come here. It's a tough battle, but yeah, you never know what the future talks are, and yeah, if it does come to light, it will be special.
Is the depth, question for both, is the depth in leadership such that even as Sea Police faces a little bit of a race against time to get to full health, this team can feel more calm, more confident in such a situation than they would have maybe when the two first became Springboks?
I think losing a quality captain like Sia, wouldn't be the best ideal thing. But the squad depth that we've built over the last couple of seasons, has put us in a position where whoever gets selected, there's no doubt. We all back each other, and I think we really prep and train really well as a squad. It doesn't really worry us, as players. We just fulfill our roles, and I think it's quite a good problem to have. It must be tough for the coaches in terms of the selections, but I think as a squad we really are in a good place.
Cheslin, what did the Springboks learn about the All Blacks that they didn't know before the All Blacks?
No, we all know they're a team with a lot of skill set all around the field. In the past, it's all about that first and that fast start that they come out with, and they catch you off guard at times, and that was the drive for us, is to make sure that we start off fast as well, so we don't get caught out. And they caught us out in Ellis Park a few times, and there was a stage during the game where we just didn't have that consistency or continuity, but we still managed to hang in there and pull it through towards the end. So yeah, it's all about that first 20 and that physical start that will lay the foundation for how that test match will go.
The All Blacks were quite clever in the last game in terms of dealing with the rush defense, almost like delaying the passes. So have you guys spoken a little bit about that, and just what you can do almost as a coach, that kind of
Yeah, I think we know New Zealand side are a skillful side from 1 to 15, and at times us as defenders needs to be also smarter when we're not on structured D. I think at times we are being challenged when you don't have the right personnel, in the defense lines, and we will just have to make better decisions, when it comes to that. But on the flip side, I think our D has been really amazing, the season over the years, and has given us a lot of turnover opportunities and putting teams under pressure. So we'll stick to what we're good at, and hopefully we'll just make better decisions.
Just how comforting is it for the players to see something like when Peter steps slots from 7 to 4, then to 5, Jesse goes from 13 to wing. You guys still manage to pull things off. Doesn't matter the shifts in the backline or front. And how satisfying and pleasing is that for the players that you can do that?
It's really a good thing that we have in the squad, and I think what we have is really special as a group, and it shows what we've been building, and how much clarity each player has in his role, and making moves or shifting position during games. It's not as stressful. Everyone is clear on their roles. Everyone knows what or where he might cover, and it's just a easier slot for everyone. So yeah, it's really a good strength of ours that we're kind of like versatile.
Cheslin, how important for the team sort of belief was that comeback over the past weekend, especially for this group sort of that came together in 2018. I don't think they've ever had a comeback like that against the All Blacks in the final 12 minutes, to pull off a 4-point win from a 10-point deficit. Obviously, you guys have beaten them in close games where the scores kept the same throughout. So was this a bit of a, has it given you guys an extra level now and an extra bit of belief that, you can pull that kind of thing off now?
Yeah, no, definitely. As you said in the past, we weren't able to come back 10 points behind and finish a game off with a win. But it just shows you the character of this group and the belief of each and every player, and just the willingness not to give up, which is always there, and that motivates us. That's why we go out on that field, and we don't want to have any regrets, basically. And I think, we got a group that's can cover various positions, that can create things out of nothing. And for us, it's just to make sure that we do the basic things well, and we just execute the game plan we train throughout the week. So, having that definitely does bring a lot of confidence within the group. We obviously trained quite hard during the week, and it showcased that last week in the last 20 minutes, but we just need to grow on top of that even further. Yeah.
Justin?
Cheslin, this one for you. A lot was talking about post-match in Johannesburg about an 80-minute performance. And it was important for you guys to be able to have that, knowing that the All Blacks could come back or they could just stay in their lead. How do you guys go about preparing for that? Is it a case of physically simulating that when you come to practice, or is it just making sure that different sections of your playing training that you ensure that you are able to perform for that full 80 minutes? Because I know this also, it's just yourself and Peter Stephen and Jesse that are close to the 240 minutes of playing 3 full games, and the rest of the guys are getting breaking between that 80-minute performance and that preparation. Kind of what goes into that?
I think what helps us is coaches puts us in scenarios throughout the week whenever we either a man down or we 10 or 15 points behind what the plan is from there. And I think from a leader's point of view, everybody has a specific role they need to play. And if there's specific points they want to get across, they'll get it across to the team. And for us, it's just to go out and do that, what was said and what is necessary. I do believe we are way fitter than what we were. And yeah, Coach Rassi, the management team, they know exactly what they're doing when they're bringing on the bench. And for us, it's just to adapt and just keep that continuity during the game. But yeah, we've definitely grown in that regard.
Cheslin, you mentioned at the beginning of the press conference that you hope with your performances that you've won over fans. Is your feeling that with all the years that you spent here in Cape Town, it is the case here? There is a different atmosphere around the Springboks in this part of the country?
No, we definitely have a lot of supporters. As I said earlier, just coming from the trophy tour, seeing all the people out and supporting the team is unbelievable. And the only thing we can do is continue to win, and hopefully we'll gain more supporters and respect within the team. And that's the only way forward, to be honest. Yes, the All Blacks has a good support base in Cape Town as well, but for us, that's a challenge as well. And as I said, whoever's playing this weekend is going to be a good one to see. But I'm sure there'll be a majority of Springbok supporters in the stadium.
Cheslin, at the time of the last All Black test here against the Springboks 2017, you were about to leave the Stormers. There were doubts about your size and your viability for elite playing professional rugby. But in the past 6 years, last week included, you pretty much put all those doubts to rest. But just talk us through how that emotional and physical journey has been for you as a player.
Yeah, it was tough at that time. Obviously, not being one of the biggest out there and getting those critics every weekend, whenever you play, whether it's at club level, it's tough, but it actually made me much more stronger mentally, and also wanting to work harder and just get opportunity, whether that time at the Storm was just to play and showcase my talent that I've been blessed with. But yeah, to be honest, to get to your point, like for me, it's not about what happened in the past. It's all about the present and what I can contribute to the team and wherever I am. To be honest, I just want to go out, play rugby and enjoy myself, because that's why I'm here today. And also just to the coaches that's been backing me, a massive thank you to them.
Lukhano, squad depth has obviously been something that's been quite strongly emphasised this year through that. A lot of youngsters have got their opportunities. Just for you, as one of the more experienced players in the squad, what does it be like seeing Apelele Fassi or Sasha come in and take their opportunities like they have done?
Yeah, it's been really amazing. I think also having the balance of experienced older guys with the youth that's full of excitement and energy. It's really good for the squad, and it just shows the amount of talent that we have in South Africa, and it's really nice to see youngsters getting given the opportunity to display their talents. So yeah, no, it's really beautiful to watch.
Cheslin, we always see you on the field. It's almost like as soon as you have the ball, there's somebody on you who's able to compliment you to what a dangerous player you are. Is it difficult to deal with that kind of thing? To almost like try and come up with something new, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, obviously teams analyze you and they come up with a plan to close down your space, but for you as an individual, you need to also improve your game each and every time you get the opportunity to play. And for me, yeah, I'm a guy that try and visualize things during training throughout the week, and when game time comes and I find myself in certain positions that it's almost that I've seen the picture before. But yeah, you just need to make sure that you keep learning, you keep developing your game, and you need to bring something different to the team every time.
Lukhano, the New Zealand Rugby Union, they're holding firm on their thing not to allow players to go play overseas and be available for New Zealand, which is something that we scrapped quite a few years ago. And some of the guys have gone on short-term things overseas, like Bode and Geordie's going to Leinster, and you've done that yourself. The Sharks allowed you to go to Japan for short-term. Is that difficult for players? Is it easier when you're in a long-term contract, or is that quite tough on guys just going over for a short spell and coming back? From your experience.
From my experience, I had an amazing experience. Just a change of scenery, getting to learn different ways of rugby style, different coaching stuff, and I think it worked to my advantage, going on that short-term contract in Japan and coming back to South Africa and, bringing what I learned that side and, trying to implementing it in my game and growing myself. And I think it's a nice thing to have, especially for guys that, enjoy and love, playing in South Africa or at home. Someone else might, beg to differ, but for my experience, it was really amazing.
Justin, English, and then can we switch?
Yeah. Lukhano, this one for you. We saw what the All Blacks were able to achieve after losing to Argentina and coming back a lot stronger in that second test, obviously. They're kind of in the same boat this time around. Is that a certain level of extra intensity that you guys are expecting and preparing for?
Definitely, yeah. You can never write off New Zealand. Their quality side, and we know this game will be even more tougher. As Ches said earlier, playing back to back teams, it's actually even more harder because you give your pictures, they know what's coming. So it will definitely be more intense, but we still, do back our prep that we've done this week. We've trained really hard, and we'll just go out there and just accept the challenge.
Is it good, Kosa? How you see Afrikaans? You comfortable?
Sal probeer.
Okay, Kosa?
Ngumfana onesiphiwo kakhulu. Kodwa-ke kwamathuba amaninzi sawuthi ibhola yombhoxo kumele ukwazi ukwenza into ezininzi. Awunothembela ngento enye emdlalweni wakho. Funeka ukwazi u-adjust, funeka ukwazi u-adapt, funeka ukwazi ukhawuleza ufunda. And ndingathi into esinayo, I think umqeqeshi uhlobo akhetha ngalo abadlali bakhe, ukhetha abadlali abakwazi udlala indima ezininzi nezihlukeneyo. So uba nabadlali abanjalo benza izinto lula etimini, and sinetha igalelo lakhe wonke umuntu uyalibona, and yes, siyavuya ukwazi uba nabadlali abanjalo.
Kanye ukujonga kwimidlalo mithathu idlaleyo neyiqalile nakuleyo nangona beningekho kumgangatho enaziwa ngalo but kwazile uphumelele. Niye kule veki nekapa uvile ukhethwa nabaxhasi babo abaninzi basekapa. Yintoni enihluke ngayo nikwaziyo izinto niphantsi niyakwazi ukubhalela ngaphezulu? Yintoni enihluke ngayo?
Ndingathi kukufunda kwiminyaka edlulileyo, nozama ukukhulisa umdlalo wethu maxesha onke, and sentsho uba ngelinye ixesha uyakwazi uplana izinto zingenzeki ngolu hlobo ubunqwena senzeke ngalo, kodwa ke still sithembile siyitim, sonela sikhulile siyitim, and injongo zethu azithezeki mandla ngenxa yescoreboard. Sihlala sibhiliva kule nto siyifunayo, and sijonge yona nto ibalulekileyo ngokwalo mzuzu, and then sizama uqoshelisa yona, sijonge elandelayo ebalulekileyo ngalo mzuzu, sizama uqoshelisa. And I think into esenza sibe yitim eqinileyo ngoba sithembene, and yinto kudala sizama uyikha lena, and ndicinga uba side safika kwelo nqanaba uba sibe yitim enjalo. So sawuzama uyigcina apho nakwiigame ezilandelayo. Siyazi zikhona iigame ezingazuba lula, mhlawumbi singazuqala kakuhle, kodwa ke ngohlobo esidlala ngalo sikwindawo ezithembileyo, and siyakwazi uleqa isikoro, siyakwazi uvala igame.
Lukhano, mhlawumbi ongeza ngombuzo sombuziwe lo mhlawumbi ungawaphetha kunjani kubona abadlali abasakhasayo beqela abafana Sasha uFasi, kunjani udlala nabo futheka nabo nje?
No, kuhle kakhulu ubona abadlali abasebatsha banikwa ithuba, and I think nathi siyitim sizama ukwenza izinto lula for umuntu wonke, noba ngumuntu omtsha okanye ngumuntu osenamava, and ithuba balinikwayo ndizawuthi masibulela abaqeqeshi ngokwazi ukwenyula italente esentsha, nobaniki amathuba bakwazi udlala. Senethu usebenzisana ke ne-youngsters nabantu abadala, into ekwakudala sizama uyakha apha etimini.
Ches, there's been a request for you to try Afrikaans. Are you up for it or not?
United game op Springboks DHL Stadium teen die Boks kan speel en span die Kaap. Weet jou persoonlike gevoel en van die span wat dit
Ja nee, eerstens soos ek gesê het, as ek in die groep is vir hierdie naweek sal dit regtig ongelooflik wees, en ek is seker vir elke speler wat in die 23 gaan wees, gaan dit 'n goeie ervaring wees. Ek dink laaste toets was 2017, so as 'n land uit terug, so dit sal baie lekker wees om deel te wees van die span. Maar die tweede toets teen New Zealand kan speel, en ja, dit gaan 'n groter een wees as laaste naweek, so ja, sal maar time vas dat in die groep is.
Can you show last question?
Bekwazi ukuzilolonga kule veki, benjani manje benjani ngokonwabangeke?
Cela uphilanda yokuqala. Oh, okay. No kwam umkhokheli wethu no besiyazi ba uzawukha ajonge uba isimo sakhe sindawo, kodwa ke ngohlobo ebenibona ngalo, uzamile ubaleka nathi, sonke sizawuthi sisebenze kakuhle, sitreyine kakuhle ukwenzela amalungiselelo ale game, and I think kuzawuthatha isigqibo namhlanje okanye ekuseni ngomso ngaphambi amagama aphume, ba uzawukwazi na umelana nomdlalo, ngoba i-training sinela ayifani nezinga lomdlalo, so sawulindela ke kugqirha nomqeqeshi xa ekhupha amagama ngomso.
Awesome. Thanks, Ches. Thanks, Luke.